everyone, it's Rosemae, and you're watching Pardon Love. I am here with Richard here in the community.
Yes.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well.
Awesome.
Thanks. So, you're from Ghana originally.
Correct.
And then you went to England.
Correct.
Tell me more about that experience.
Well, we go to another country for green pastures, as we normally call it.
Yes.
So long story short, we went to England, went with the family. Our visa expired.
Yes.
My visa expired.
Yes.
And the next thing I know, I'm being arrested, taken to a prison, taken to a jail, taken to a cell, whatever you want to call it, and my deportation being processed. So here I am. I was 18 years at that time. In the jail all by yourself, no family. My family were not allowed to see me. The next thing I know, I'm taken straight from the cell into a van, into Heathrow Airport to Ghana. No change of clothing, nothing. But what I really want to speak about was my time in the cell.
Yes. Tell us a little bit more about that. So you went to prison.
I was arrested
because you didn't have the proper paperwork.
Correct.
As far
Your
as they're
visa expired.
concerned.
Yes, I mean I wasn't there for months. I was there for about a week.
So about a week, but you didn't have your visa expired.
Correct.
So for that, just on that basis, you were put in jail.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your prison experience.
Absolutely. And I remember, they will bring you food, prison food, microwavable food. And after I finished eating, I know something was happening to me mentally because I could no longer take it.
Yes.
It got to a point I said to I don't know whether it was true or it was false, but it just came out of my mouth. I said to the lawyer, I said, if you guys send me home, I'm gonna commit suicide. And it looked like he didn't care. He's like, okay, sure. But in the cell, I felt like I was really losing my mind.
Why do you think that was? Because of the conditions?
Condition and the dejection that came with it.
The injection?
Dejection, being dejected,
okay.
That came with it, not being allowed to see family, because as an African person, we have family structure. We have a lot of great family structure and background. So not being able to see my family, parents, brothers, had a lot to do with it as well. And I was only 18, I just started.
And they weren't able to see you either.
Correct. So the next thing I know, and I was escorted to the airplane with officers, so it was a very crazy ordeal in that part of my life,
Wow.
Yeah.
How long were you in prison?
No, it's fine. I was there it was a short period. I was there for about a week.
Okay. And what helped you get through day to day?
It was I would definitely say as a person of faith, it was God, and also the backbone and the love that my family had always given me
and instilled in you.
Absolutely. And I know that very soon I will see my family, the family will be reunited again. And
did you know at the time while you were in prison that you would be out in a week?
No, I had no idea.
So what was going on through your mind while you were in the prison? You must have been
just to be able to survive, just to be able to survive. And I remember they would bring me food, and after I finished eating, I would turn it over and start drumming. It's like I was going crazy, seriously.
Wow.
And the human spirit is tough to break. We say it all the time that you can imprison someone, but you cannot imprison their mind, or you cannot imprison their way of thought or the ability to think for themselves.
So you were thinking about your family, your support system.
Absolutely.
And that helped
life
you to
in
get
general.
through it.
Absolutely.
That
And life in general. There's something better beyond these doors, beyond these gates.
So you had a positive mentality.
Yes.
In a very negative situation.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
So that's a great help. And after that happened, you have one of two choices. You could either let that scar you for life in a negative way.
That's right.
Or you could use that as a stepping stone to something bigger and greater and better. Mm-hmm. Which choice did you make and why?
Oh, definitely the latter,
And why?
Because as I mentioned, the human spirit, it's so hard to break this human spirit that we have. And so many times we give less of value to what the human spirit is capable of doing.
Yes.
My spirit wanted more. My spirit just could not give up. I'm not,
You're not one to give up.
I just can't. I just don't know how to because of my spirit. And being able to say, hey, no matter what happened in England, I'm going to continue to travel, and not to say I can't find higher education in Ghana, because there is higher education in Ghana. I have friends who have not moved out of the continent or out of the country and have done so well for themselves.
In England.
In Ghana.
In Ghana.
But I said to myself,
would you go back to England?
I will go back. Now I have the legal rights to do so. So I will. But
so that experience didn't stop you from even going back.
No, I can't. I mean, I have family there, so I'll
That's
still go
some
back.
determination.
I'll still go back. I have family here as well. So if it all works out and family wants to move back to England, I don't mind.
So you didn't let that stop you from doing what you want to do and living your life.
Not at all. Not at all. I have no fear, and I believe that was definitely one of the things that even the arresting police officer or reporting officer said to me. He said, "You look so calm. So there's nothing that you can do to me. That there's no power that you have that has not been given to you from above."
So what do you look forward to now that you've overcome that experience? What now lies before you as far as what you seek to accomplish in life?
I mean, I'm an
and how has that helped you? The lessons you've learned through that experience, how does that help you? How do you think it's helped you now that you're moving forward?
It definitely has a lot to do with not giving up. Not giving up no matter what you encounter. It could be the darkest hour of your life, or moment of your life. Never give up, number one. And as an entrepreneur, that helps me as well. I mean, you put me in a cell for deny me the basic things of humanity, and then put me in an airplane and ship me back home. I mean, I know folks have gone through difficult moments than that, but there's nothing else that can happen to me that can top that. To alienate. What's the word? Alienate me. Sorry, my accent. Alienate me from my family, and yet still I'm able to survive. So that has definitely been one of the those moments, that propelling moments, in my life. There's absolutely nothing that you can do to me, or life can do to me, that has not been done to me already.
Do you appreciate that experience? Of course, if it didn't have to happen, of course you wouldn't have wanted it to happen. That's not what I'm saying. But are you glad to a certain extent that it happened?
Yes.
And why?
Oh man, yes. And I mean, of course, if I'm to go back to that particular day, I would have done stuff differently, so not to get arrested. And it's it's one of those things where they just see you and they just stop you and they ask you for your legal papers, your papers and stuff like that. Yes.
So what has it taught you?
Oh my goodness, that experience definitely brought me to that place where I knew that family was everything, because when I got home, my father was at the airport and he says, "I got you, don't worry, all is going to be well."
Yes.
So what it taught me, that family, I mean, they say you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family.
Yes.
That the family structure that I had was to be honored, was to be valued.
Yes.
Because when all else, when things failed, my father, my family were there to pick up the pieces.
Yes.
And also, number two, what else did I learn from this? That in your darkest moment, just think of how beautiful life can be if you're able to cross this very moment. If you're able to go beyond this prison wall. I believe thinking about how beautiful life was in itself did help me.
And how things. Just thinking about life in general.
That's right.
The good in life.
Absolutely.
And not focusing on
Absolutely.
what was negative.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to acknowledge the situation.
That's right.
But at the same time, you don't have to dwell on it.
Absolutely. And it's like, they put you in a place where, I remember they told me that if I wanted to go to the gym, I should call them. They'll take me to the gyms. I was happy. I could get to work out, give myself that mental space that I need. To alleviate my pain, or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
So they took me to the gym, and I kid you not, it was just an uncompleted space with nothing to work out with. And I just stood there like, okay, what am I doing here?
Wow.
So I don't know whether that was done on purpose, and I believe it was, but that's it's in the past. I don't care. So I was like, what do I do? Punch these walls till my knuckles bleed, or what? But you're put in this place where there's no creativity at all. That is if you're that individual. And how to survive because many of us as artists, we thrive on creativity.
And you're an artist.
Correct. We thrive on colors, we thrive on shapes, you know. So being put in that blank space where there's no inspiration at all can almost kill you.
Yes. So it's really impressive.
Very.
All right. So, tell them a little bit about yourself. Richard, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Tell them a little bit about yourself and how they can follow you.
Sure.
And what you do.
Sure. I hate talking about myself, but name is Richard Adolfo from Ghana, West Africa. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a pastor here at Ark of Christ in Brooklyn. I founded Space Age Leather Good or Leather Crafts in Brooklyn in 2013, September 2013. Handmade leather goods, and just the ability and the blessing that comes with being able to work with your hands alone, you know, mean a lot to me. That you have equity in your hands, and that's what I tell every entrepreneur, you know, especially those who work with your hands. You have equity in your hands. You know, you can, turn it into cash flow or whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm about.
Do you have a website?
Yes, spaceag.com. SPACEAGEY.com. www.spaceag.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, and it carries the same ID. Space AG on both Instagram and Facebook.
Very well. Thanks again for your time, Richard. I really appreciate it. This will be a great help to many people. Until next time, I'm Rosemae, and don't give up and never stop believing. See you next time.